Everybody, Luke chapter number 19, verse number 29 to verse number 40. And it came to pass, when he was come nigh to Bethpage and Bethany, at the mount called the Mount of Olives, he sent two of his disciples, saying, Go ye into the village over against you, in the which at your entering you shall find a colt tied, whereon yet never man sat. Loose him and bring him hither. And if any man ask you, Why do you loose him? Thus shall say unto him, Because the Lord hath need of him. And they that were sent went their way, and found even as he had said unto them. And as they were loosing the colt, the owners therefore said unto him, Why loose ye the colt? And they said, The Lord hath need of him. And they brought him to Jesus, and they cast their garments upon the colt, and they set Jesus thereon. And as he went, they spread their clothes in the way. And when he was come nigh, even now at the descent of the Mount of Olives, the whole multitude of the disciples began to rejoice and praise God with a loud voice for all the mighty works that they had seen, saying, Blessed be the King that cometh in the name of the Lord. Peace in heaven and glory in the highest. And some of the Pharisees from among the multitude said unto him, Master, rebuke thy disciples. And he answered and said unto them, I tell you that if these should hold their peace, the stones would immediately cry out. And he answered and said unto them, I tell you, if these should hold their peace, the stones would immediately cry out. And he answered and said unto them, if these should hold their peace, the stones would immediately cry out. For a few moments, I want to talk from the subject, 1 week in time. 1 week in time. The place has a holy hush over the house right now because you are witnessing something new. You see something that in all your years of coming you've never seen before. Where the vessels that God has called to wear garments, to preach his gospel, to tell people about the goodness of this 1 week in time, now sit before you fully vested in their liturgical, what we call in the ecclesiastical world, in their liturgical garb, none looking like the other, all coming in their own way. And you would say, I wonder why that God chose them. Why did he choose them? Because he had need of them. When you look at this text, you will realize that it's written about in every gospel. It's written in Matthew's gospel. It's written in Mark's gospel. It's written here that you heard through your hearing in Luke's gospel. And it's also written in John's gospel. And I'm a firm believer that if God can use an ass, he can sure enough use us. Amen. Talk that to me. I know y'all all people, we born somewhere because you say, well, Pastor had said a bad word. No, you haven't read Matthew's gospel. It said he told him to go and loose an ass which a man had never sat on. Why? Because the master has need of him. And we can realize and we can understand and we can recognize that if we be honest with ourselves, that the year 2011 was not the best year of your ministerial lives. Why? They just kept it. It's not the best year of your ministerial lives. It's not the best year of the people's lives, because the people see and have seen you go through your ups and your downs. They've seen you shout. They've seen you disappear. They've seen you come late. They've seen you go through seasons. They see you go down. They see sometimes you're not acting right. They see sometimes you are struggling. They see sometimes you are in the midst of something. They even see sometimes where it looked like you don't even believe that he died any time on the cross. But in the midst of that, that's because you were going through a bad year. You need to understand that 11 is the year, or the spiritual number. It means chaos. It means that God had to uproot some things in your life to see if you would still be committed to the call. When you first got licensed, you was happy. That was your parade coming in. When you got ordained, you were happy. That was your parade coming in. When you had your initial sermon, everybody and their mama showed up because that was your parade coming in. But when you look down through the years, you realize that right after your trial sermon, some of the same people that celebrated you started to hate on you. Y'all don't want to talk back to me. And I'm here to tell somebody that haters don't hate on anybody that's not doing anything. You look at your neighbor and say, if you're being hated on, it's because you're doing something. People will celebrate you in the midst of the parade, but the same people that celebrate you when you're not their friend anymore, when you got to make a shift, when you have to make a change, or when God takes you in a different direction, the same people that promised they would be with you to the end. How do I know? Because I should have two rows of ministers here, but somewhere along the line, some went on the glory, some went on somewhere else, and some went back to hell. But you got to understand that in the midst of that, God still has a completed number, because I see 7. With you. I'm trying to help you so that people understand and recognize who you are in God. Just because they see your flaws, just because they see your outside, don't worry. Let them know that your anointing has not risen to the top yet. God is still working on you. He's still teaching you. He's still encouraging you. He's still empowering you. And what you are now is not what you shall become. You may sometimes wonder in your mind, you got a sermon and you think somebody want to hear it. It ain't your timing. If the Lord can wait 30 years for 3 years of ministry, for 3 hours of purpose, surely you that only been licensed 3 months, I don't want to talk back to me, can wait on the Lord. I'm trying to help somebody here, because some of you expecting God to be like a microwave coming through your electricity when you plug it in. You expected the light out. But let me tell you something. You're going to have to go through something. You're going to have to endure some hard time before you can appreciate good time. Do I have any witnesses in here? For all things work together for good for them that love the Lord and are the called. You still got residue. Amen. You have to dust your robe off and put it on to remind yourself. Because see, what happens is, at least you could put your robe on. But the robe he had on, they took it off and put on. That's right. Amen. So what I'm telling somebody is, now that you have your robes on, now the enemy is going to turn it up a notch. This parade time. That's right. But I'm going to prophesy over you this week. The enemy going to turn it up a notch. You said, what are you saying? Not for the people. See, the people got nothing to do with this, because we got to go through before we can tell the people how to get through. Because the people are already going through. And sometimes we act like, we look over our ecclesiastical nostrils and act like don't nothing touch us. Don't nobody see us buck, don't nobody see us run, don't nobody see us shout. But he said, if these won't say nothing, even the
Amen.
The rocks.
That's right.
Well, cry out. So, I'm guilty of it myself. The challenge is, but I've learned that you can get strength from the struggle.
Amen. Right.
No struggle, no strength. Can I tell you, y'all are nothing but caterpillars in the cocoon, going through your metamorphosis.
That's right.
Don't try to get out ahead of time.
Right.
Oh, the devil tell you when you're getting old. Hey, Moses was 80 when he called him.
That's right.
Y'all don't want to talk back to me. He was 80. He was a little older before he went back.
Yeah.
And then he was 120 when he came out of it.
Yeah.
So you only 50 something. You haven't even began to dialect. You haven't even began to get into God. And look at how the devil has made your life chaotic. All because you're called.
Yeah.
And you don't have to tell me. I've been there and I've been preaching 25 years. You don't have to tell me. There are times in ministry, just like there's times in being a parishioner, where you feel like, and some of you done gave your resignation into God, but I'm telling you, pick it back up.
Amen. That's right.
You felt like resigning. You felt like moving on. You felt like going to a fresh place. Because see, what the problem is, y'all don't want to talk back to me. What the problem is and what I have learned after 18 years of pastoring, it is not my will.
Amen.
But it has to be his will that be done. And anything that's going to make you comfortable, anything that's going to make you excited, anything that you want to do, that ain't God's will. God said you got to go through the valley of the shadow of death. But you don't have to fear no evil because my rod and my staff, I wish I had somebody in here that know that God is a comforter even when you feel like you're comfortless. So, I come to encourage you because I don't always talk to you. And sometimes you think I forgot about you. Sometimes you wonder because I don't pay you any mind. I just act like I don't know you because it ain't about me and you.
Amen.
Oh, it's about him. And just like you going through, I'm going through. But while you going through, I got to intercede from you. I don't get the privilege to go through and have somebody intercede from me. I got to go through and intercede from you. When you acting crazy, I got to stay sane. Y'all don't want to talk back to me. When you acting bugged out, I got to cover you. When folks say, why did you choose them? Why did you lose them? Because the Lord has need of them. So I don't do like Ham. I'm not going to expose you. I take my cover and I... The same way I cover you, that's the same way he covered me under his blood. Y'all don't want to talk back to me, but look at somebody say, if you really knew who I really was, you would get out of this church right now. If you really knew who I really was, you would leave your row right now. Y'all don't want to talk back to me. If you really knew who I really am. Woo!
Yes.
But I'm glad I'm covered. Covering. It's not just a father brought over his children, but it's also a blood covering. And that's why you sit before the blood bank. People wonder. I tell people all the time, I'm blood. Yes, I am. I'm covered by the blood. I believe in the blood. I've been washed in the blood. My sins been cleansed by the blood. That's brotherly love overcoming oppression and depression, because when I got under the blood, all my oppression and depression was gone. Y'all don't want to talk back to me. And then I became a Christian because I'm a community revolutionary in progress. But see, you can't become under the blood unless you're going to do something. And what happens is a lot of times God calls you and you get under the blood and that's all you do is be under the blood. Now, for my parishioners. Can you imagine, let me break this text down to you before you think I'm just being ecclesiastically deep. Before you think I'm being theologically competent. Before you think I'm being hermeneutically correct and homiletically sound. Let me break this down where the real people can get it, because see, that's what we study. But the reality is, if it can use an ass, he can use you. Can you imagine the disciples understanding, a lack of understanding, when he told them to go get the coat
Yeah.
from somebody else's house and loose them. Get one that ain't never been ridden. That means get one that ain't always grew up in church. Y'all don't want to talk back to me. That means get one who may have a few kids out of wedlock. Y'all don't want to talk back to me. Get one who got some skeletons in their closet.
Yeah.
Get one who got some flaws in their body. Get one who ain't never been ridden and bring him
Yes.
to me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because the master got need
Yes, sir.
of him.
Yes.
And can you imagine your family thought when it got revealed that God called you?